Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, there's a mirror right here. We have a new book corner. And it will be changing again when things get moved around in this house, and we'll have like a whole freaking room pretty much. So, whew, this will be so much fun. Anyways, this book is going to be what I read in April. So I read a total of 4 books because 3 of them are chunky, and I was also working a lot. So I just didn't have the time to just sit down and read, which really sucked. I mean, I could have totally put like the Audible in my ears, but it's just so different, especially with this series. The series that I'm going to be talking about today. It's just, I don't know, I'm not an Audible person. It's just because, like, I don't know. I'm an Audible for some books. I've definitely audibled a lot of these books. But first book, this is my second time reading through, and this time, surprisingly, I didn't cry. The other time I definitely like sobbed my eyes out. But it's A Little Alive by Hanya Yanagihara. I love it. There's a lot of trigger warnings with it. For like every, it's a 5-star for me. If you guys don't know, my like rating is like 1 to 6. 6 is like out of this world. But this one is definitely a 5-star. It follows the life of a like group of college students, and there's a lot. I feel like, I don't know. There's no way for me to explain it without putting spoilers. It'll make you cry. It'll make you want to rage. It'll make you question some things. But I'll just read the back for you, because I feel like the best way to like explain it without spoiling it. A Little Alive follows 4 college classmates broke adrift and buoyed only by their friendship and ambition. As they move to New York in search of fame and fortune, while their relationships, which are tinged by addiction, success, and pride, deepen over the decades, the men are held together by their devotion to the brilliant, enigmatic Jude, a man scarred by an unspeakable childhood trauma. A hymn to brotherly bonds and a masterful depiction of love in the 21st century. Hanya Yanagihara's stunning novel is about the families we are born into and those we make for ourselves. If you ever think about reading this, please, please, please read the trigger warnings. Don't just go into this blindly. It is not the type of book where you just jump into it. It's like, there have been some YouTubers where it's like, oh, let's read the saddest books, or this video will go until I find a book that'll make me cry, and then they don't like research about the book, and then they just slam the book hard and be like, why would somebody make a book like this, or just so many different things. And it's like, there's trigger warnings for a freaking reason. Read it and determine whether you can read it or not. TED Talk over. Okay, now we have the Blood and Ash series. Oh, bookmark in here because my boyfriend is actually reading it. There's shadows. Somebody's here. I don't know who, but somebody's at the house. Anyways, and so the first book in this series is From Blood and Ash, and my cousin was the one that got me into reading this book. I'm putting my glasses back on. My cousin is the one who's like, you should definitely read this series. It's a really good series, and it's adult fantasy, like adult romance. And I was like, because like I heard fantasy and got so gun shy. I don't know if you can tell by the colors. That has changed. I have the Throne of Glass and the ACOTAR series right here. I'm like, I need more fantasy. I need more adult romance fantasy and just fantasy in general. Let me just tell you. So there's From Blood and Ash, Crown Gilded Bones, and The Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. I finished all of these in April, and then I started this one, The War of Two Queens, in April, and obviously I'm continuing to read it. So far, the whole series for me, there's a total of there's a total of 5 in this series, and then there's a sister series to it, which is A Light in the Flame. And then I think there's 3 or 4 in that one. But they all go together. But I'm 4 books in, and so far 3 out of the 4, I'm like in chapter 2 of this one. So I can't really give like an estimate. But so far, 3 out of the 4 books that are being read or have been read or been currently being reading are 6 stars. Like, out of this world, obsessed. Like, freaking obsessed. I cannot stop thinking about the books, have dreams about the books, literally have physical reactions to the books. Where is it? From Blood and Ash, the end, I threw my book. I threw it. It landed on the dog bed. Great. There was no, like, damage that ended up happening. But I didn't even think. I just, like, freaking threw it. I was like, what? Like, just, yeah. And just, that is how this series has been for me. It's been amazing. It's been exhilarating. Definitely a good series for me to get into, to get back into fantasy, because now I'm like, I gotta read more. So I got the Blood and Ash series was the first book, and I started it on Audible, and I really didn't like it. I was like, it's good, but like, and then I got the physical copies of the books, and yeah, I haven't looked back. But so I have that series, and then the first book to the sister series, but then I have Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, and then I have the ACOTAR series and the Throne of Glass series, and then the Crescent City series. That is pretty much all of my adult fantasy, and then I have some YA fantasy that I had before, but none of those series honestly made a dent. There's nothing more than a 3-star with the young adult ones. But for fantasy, I'm definitely an adult fantasy girl. But yeah, no, so that is everything that I read in the month of April. I mean, I used to read like a whole lot, and then I got a job and started doing outside curricular thingies, and haven't really made time to read, which sucks, because like reading is like just safe place. But yeah, so that's everything that I read in April, and come back for more.